Hello guys and gals, me Mutahart. Today we're going to play the Copyright Police. Now ladies and gentlemen, I actually am looking at a game today that I wouldn't really have been interested had it not 100% been for the controversy. They've kind of Grand Theft Auto their way, Rockstar game their way into my eyeballs. And we're going to kind of look at it. Now, Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games on the Switch. For a while, it was the only game on the Switch that I considered worth playing, and honestly, it's a real well-made game. I think if there's any addiction to shrine puzzles, it's all that game for me, and I probably have over well 100 hours into it, which for me is a big deal. Like if I can put that much time into your game, it's a pretty sweet game, a console game that is really showing its colors to be what I believe and what the world believes to be a pretty heavy, inspired clone of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So we're going to sit back, relax, we're going to get our headphones on. We're going to get a little angry eyeball set for this. Let's see how much they've ripped off Breath of the Wild. Alright, we're already getting into that anime territory, so I'm just going to kind of skip it at that point. Christ. I'm not gonna say that the environment reminds me of Breath of the Wild, but that motherfucking environment reminds me of goddamn Breath of the Wild pretty well. Like, holy shit. You know, I was thinking that a lot of people are over-exaggerating that, but to be fair, the grass looks the same, the enemy designs are looking the same. Dude, the outposts are looking the same. Dude, if I'm not even mistaken, if you loaded up Breath of the Wild right now, the trees in the background would look similar. In fact, this whole area actually reminds me of that starting location of Breath of the Wild. Jesus Christ. This is another location. It feels like they're at the Temple of Time. Oh my god. Okay, so I'll say this much. The actual, like, when you look at the gameplay, I don't mind it, because it's actually giving me Ni no Kunai 2 vibes, which was a really good action RPG game that was created. So if you're into Ni no Kunai 2, like, this game is pretty much on that territory, at least from a gameplay perspective. And honestly, just the combat alone, alright, that looks pretty. Just the combat alone in this game is making me like it a little more than Breath of the Wild, honestly, which Breath of the Wild's combat system, if you don't know, is like, yeah, you have bows and everything, but the melee combat just boils down to dodging perfectly and then fingering the shit out of the flurry rush key, whatever the fuck that one is, like, why? That's about all it is. This game actually has a lot more interesting looking combat. Dude, hold on. That's a boss health bar? Oh, Jesus Christ. They're shameless, dude. They're fucking shameless. That's actually the exact same boss battle. Look at that. It even depletes the same fucking way too. They didn't even change that. They didn't change shit. All right, so it's giving me like good old MMO vibes. I mean, it looks like it's a goddamn MMO. All right, like it looks like what Breath of the Wild would look like if you put it through like CEMU emulator and like cranked that shit up to 4K. Like it looks clean, it looks crisp. I mean, ultimately, it looks like it is Breath of the Wild. God damn. And to be honest, Breath of the Wild was already a game that I considered to be a pretty lackluster looking Zelda game, because when you compare it to like the stylings of Wind Waker, to the realistic gritty style of Twilight Princess, I didn't enjoy Breath of the Wild's like appearance, but Christ, when I see it in this fashion, yeah, they was shamelessly copied it. Could Nintendo sue for this? I feel like they could. Let's go further in. Oh, dude, they died. Game over. All right, I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be like heavy free-to-play, like MMO vibes for a second. I don't know what it is, but I am getting free-to-play MMO vibes out of this. Now let's kind of stop for a second, back the fuck out, and read the comments for a second. So Zelda Breath of the Waifus, which is true. I mean, if this game had less of the anime shit, I'd probably play it a little bit more, honestly. Like, I'd be more interested if it had less of it. Not saying that I don't like the anime stylings of anything. Like, if I can play Persona 5, but like sometimes it gets way too much. So I guess maybe if they dialed it down a little, I'd be super onto that. Because of the controversy, this is now on my radar. Exactly, the controversy, I cannot stop thinking about this fucking game. This is an account where, they actually showed photos of the dude that broke a fucking PS4 Pro because of this game in protest, apparently. Like what is that? What is that even going to do? You know he's just going to buy another fucking PS4 Pro when Death Stranding or like Last of Us 2 come out, right? Or like Ghost of Tsushima. Like he go buy one. He go get one. All right? So these are fans of Breath of the Wild, right? Now this is what I also love. It is the fanboyism. So this dude brings the PlayStation 4, right? To like the PlayStation 4 China Joy event, which is where they're showing these games. Like they have like Chinese game development. So this guy has like a PS4 Pro on it, drops that thing, and it is a Pro, by the way. Like you can tell, it's got that weird like double-decker sandwich style. What does he do? Fucking smashes that thing into security, steps in like, please, sir, can you stop tarding up the place like that? Jesus Christ, dude. What the fuck? And then it's interesting because then you've got like this fucking civil rights, like fucking sit-in era shit going on with the Nintendo Switches in solidarity. Like, we will not have you rip off Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Like, Christ, dude, okay? Every game pretty much gets inspired from one another. I will agree, Genshin Impact is a pretty strong inspiration, but there's deep-seated roots to all that stuff. Let's go down real quick. So they've got Switches up there, all right? And I think that's the Final Fantasy VII Remake Showcase. Like, you guys got to go there. You guys got to get that protest going on. This dude's dropping the hard fuck you with the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild being played. And I love how, like, the other protesters, like, they're actually playing the games. This dude is the only one not playing the game. Like, get out of the menu, dude, okay? You got the barbarian clothes on. Go fuck shit up. Oh, I love this one. Let's just hold up our Breath of the Wild, dude. Fuck you, Genshin Impact. How dare you rip off Breath of the Wild? Jesus Christ, man. The fanboyism is pretty off the charts. You know, it's interesting that this happens in China, of all places. So for those of you who don't know anything about China, China's IP theft problem is pretty big, all right? China is known for basically magically coming up with the same software another company comes up with very, very quickly. It's almost as if they buy products from their competitors, immediately reverse engineer them, and because in China there's no laws about that shit, they can just get away, all right? Simple as that. That's kind of how it works in China. So seeing game development copy, inspire from other ideas is not something that I'm super shocked by. Now, at the end of the day, do I think that Nintendo has a case for suing Sony, who's actively promoting, and I think they're actually giving money to develop this game too, of copying Breath of the Wild? Sure, but it's never going to go to court, and you have to realize it like this. Nintendo and Sony are really big companies. Like, we're talking blue chip tech companies. They've got enough money to keep fighting each other for years. So the amount of money that one could make from any case, whatever you want, nobody's going to win it. It's going to be one of those battles that costs way too much money, all right, way too much time, and nobody really cares about taking it because at the end of the day, if you think about it, a lot of games copy from one another, okay? Back when Call of Duty was at its fucking prime, every game copied Call of Duty, and to a point where Activision probably had legal, cases for saying that they were directly copied from. But were they going to do it? No, because at the end of the day, it becomes a situation where you make a monster and the monster gets way too fucking big and you can't handle it. Now, am I going to get this game? Actually, maybe. All right. I really don't get the anime stylings of it, but the gameplay is certainly interesting me. And at the end of the day, all right, I like Breath of the Wild. If there's games that like to be inspired from Breath of the Wild, then why would be down for it? The game looks crisp and clean. This whole bullshit about bringing a PlayStation 4 to destroy it, all right, in protest, like, that doesn't achieve anything. You guys are siding with big tech companies that don't give a fuck about you. All right, at the end of the day, all they got to do is make video games and a product. And if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. You don't owe Sony or Nintendo your fucking blood. All right, you want to know something about Sony and Nintendo? All right, bam. This is about as much support as I'm going to give Nintendo, buying their system, okay? And buying a game from them every once in a while. Why does this not have any cart in it? Jesus Christ. But that's about all the support I can give for one of these companies. When you see games being made, all right, it really comes down to voting with your wallet, okay? If you're just gonna break a PlayStation 4, what kind of a fucking protest is that? You already bought the system. You already bought games for the system. We all know you're just gonna buy the system again. Like, it really makes no sense. That's all I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen. Will I get this game? Probably. It does certainly now interest me, and I think this whole, like, controversy may have actually kind of been planned now that I think about it from, like, this Machiavellian perspective. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of this obvious free-to-play Chinese game that turned into a PS4 title that actually don't look half bad? I may delve into it, I might. If I get drunk enough and end up making a stupid purchase, it might actually be that purchase. But ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike or dislike it. PS4s were definitely harmed somewhat in the making of this video. This is me, Mutahar, and I am out.